Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday! Today's story is called Sneaky Pete, the One-Eyed Worm. I first met Peter Richard Johnson on the first day of school. He was accompanied to the school bus stop with his parents. They were new in town and they wanted to be sure that Peter would be safe. Peter's mum was named Wanna Johnson, and they called his father Big Johnson. Pete's father truly lived up to his name. He was over 6 inches long and thick as well. The Johnsons were really nice worms. They also cared about all of us worm kids. Before they left Peter with the rest of us kids, they made sure to warn us all not to go above ground. They said it could be very dangerous, especially because there could be hungry birds looking for a nice warm meal. I do not know much about human kids, but I know that my friends and I sometimes do not listen to our parents like we should. This was one of those times. No sooner had Mr. and Mrs. Johnson crawled home when we all decided to go above ground for a short visit before the school bus arrived. Now, I have just a little more to tell you about Peter before I tell you about why he's my hero. Peter was the first worm to have an eye. We other worms we can't really see, but instead we use our hair-like bristles to feel things, and this is why we like to stay underground. Peter was indeed a unique worm. Oh, we were so proud of him, the first worm to have an eye, and he was our friend. So back to my story. All of us kids crawled up to the surface and stuck our heads up above ground, and we all became very excited. Especially Peter, because he was seeing things that have never been seen before and would never be seen by any of us other worms. Oh boy, he was so excited and tense that he became very stiff. I knew he needed to relax, so I introduced myself to him. My name, by the way, is Anjob. I told Peter that I knew how to help stiff worms like him relax, be safe, and us other worm kids all came up to the surface to join Peter. We were crawling around in the sun and the dirt, but we were sure to be careful though, as us earthworms can't be in the sun for very long. But for these few minutes we were loving every second of it. We made sure to leave some of our very special poop for the plants up there. All of a sudden we heard Peter scream, watch out, there's an early bird up there, and he wants a worm to eat." Wow, we were really all scared, and we all wished at that moment that we'd obeyed Peter's parents. Promising to ourselves that we would always obey our parents from now on, we started to crawl right back to where we belonged. But it was too late for our friend Emma. Her head was in the earth, but not her tail. She was going to be the bird's breakfast. The early bird grabbed Emma by the tail and started to fly away, but our new hero Peter grabbed Emma's head and held on with all of his might and told us all to help grab Emma. Now we were playing tug-of-war with the early bird. All I can say about what happened to poor Emma is that it's a good thing us worms can lose a part of our body and grow it back. Thankfully, us worms have these amazing healing abilities, or Emma would have been really hurt. This neat talent of growing back our body parts is one reason why I think we're smarter than humans. Anyway, our friend Emma survived, and she made sure to tell everyone that her new friend Peter Richard Johnson saved her life, even though she did have to give up a piece of tail. If it wasn't for Peter helping us sneak around with his one eye, and him being able to see the sky while we explored above ground, Emma would have been a victim of the early bird getting a worm. This is the story of how Emma came to love Peter and began to teasingly call him Sneaky Pete, the one-eyed worm. I guess if there's a lesson here, something to learn, is that all of us youngsters, be they worms, humans, aunts, and even uncles, should all listen to our parents. Always. I hope you look forward to Mr. Johnson telling you more stories about his Peter. Maybe I will tell you more stories in the future as well. Anjob. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers, patrons and members. See you next week. Bye bye.